Many grow up believing in the fairy tale, that somewhere out there exists one soulmate, a singular person meant to fulfill every emotional and physical need. Others accept a simpler version of this story, believing that while there may not be just one perfect match, the ideal is still one partner at a time, a commitment to exclusivity. And then there are those who see the world differently. They understand, or at least suspect, that no single person can meet the entirety of their relational and sexual desires, that one heart can love more than once and in more than one way. For them, multiple connections are not a threat, but an opportunity, not a breach of loyalty, but an expression of love's abundance. This is where polyamory steps in, not as rebellion, but as recognition. Polyamory, or consensual non-monogamy, is the practice of engaging in multiple intimate relationships, sometimes sexual, sometimes romantic, with the full knowledge and consent of everyone involved. It is not gendered, it belongs to no single demographic. Any one man, woman, non-binary can find themselves drawn to multiple connections. And it's far more common than many assume. Studies suggest that at least 1 in 5 Americans has experienced some form of consensual non-monogamy, and about 1 in 20 is currently living that reality. What makes polyamory fascinating is not just its structure, but its psychology. To love more than one person demands emotional agility. To balance multiple intimate bonds requires honesty, communication, and courage. Polyamory asks its participants to question deeply held assumptions about possession, jealousy, and loyalty. And while it can bring extraordinary fulfillment, a sense of freedom, greater self-understanding, even higher relational satisfaction, it comes with challenges. Jealousy still surfaces, boundaries still need to be negotiated, and emotions can grow complicated when a new partner enters the dynamic. At its core, polyamory is distinct from other open relationship styles. Swinging, for example, usually centers on sex without emotional intimacy. Polygamy often implies marriage to multiple spouses, usually with gendered power structures. Polyamory is wider, more fluid. It can involve couples, triads, quads, or networks of lovers. It can be romantic, sexual, or both. Some choose to keep it private because of stigma. Others live openly and proudly, creating communities that support their choices. Polyamorous arrangements vary widely. Some maintain a primary relationship, a marriage, or long-term bond, and add secondary relationships with agreed-upon boundaries. Others practice polyfidelity, committing exclusively to a closed group. Some reject hierarchy entirely, embracing relationship anarchy, where all bonds are free-form and equal. It begins with a conversation, a desire expressed, a boundary negotiated. Some couples start polyamorous, others evolve into it after years of monogamy. The shift can be thrilling, but also destabilizing. Couples must discuss everything: what's allowed, what's off limits, when to meet new partners, how to handle feelings of jealousy. One common challenge is new relationship energy, NRE, the intoxicating rush when a new lover enters the picture. Wise partners learn to honor it while nurturing the stability of their existing bonds. Cheating still exists in polyamory. Even here, secrets hurt. Betrayal is not about the number of partners, but the breach of agreed trust. Many polyamorous people speak of compersion, a surprising, almost counterintuitive joy felt when a partner finds happiness with someone else. Not everyone feels it, but for some, seeing a loved one desired by others deepens the sense of love, not diminishes it. Motivations are varied. Some crave sexual novelty. Some feel their emotional needs cannot be met by one person. Some want to explore fantasies or broaden family structures. Research suggests those in polyamorous relationships often score higher on traits like openness to experience. They value freedom and tend to resist rigid norms. And contrary to stereotypes, women in consensual non-monogamy often report a stronger sense of choice and relational power than men. Polyamory can create incredible support networks, more adults to help with childcare, multiple partners to lean on emotionally, richer intimacy. But it can also demand more energy than monogamy, requiring constant communication and self-awareness. Jealousy is still real, though often more openly discussed. And legal and social barriers exist. Polyamory itself is not illegal, but custody battles, workplace stigma, and discrimination still affect many. Children, surprisingly to some, often do well in polyamorous households. Research finds they thrive as much as peers from monogamous homes, provided the adults are stable and clear about roles. What matters most is not the number of parents, but the presence of love and security. Perhaps the rise of polyamory reflects broader cultural changes, a questioning of old norms, a willingness to shape relationships to fit individual needs rather than the other way around. Cities like Somerville, Massachusetts, have even taken steps to legally recognize polyamorous partnerships. Ultimately, polyamory is not for everyone. Some people flourish in it, some try and retreat to monogamy, some never consider it at all. But for those drawn to it, it's a landscape rich with possibility, where intimacy is not a zero-sum game, but an evolving art, and where the central question is not who owns your heart, but how many ways can it love.